Hi everyone and welcome back to the Bodcast. It's episode 16 today. Kerry's here and Ian is also here.
Hello.
Hello. And today we're going to be talking about whether Lego is a premium toy. Discuss. You always laugh when I say that.
I do.
You're not expecting it.
It's just because it's funny.
Okay.
So we were talking to some people about what we should do in podcasts, and the topic of other Lego compatible toys came up. At which point you went, no, we don't do anything other than Lego. Which isn't true, because the motors that we use for our fairground are not Lego motors, because they're better than Lego motors. But a lot of the things about these other brick companies, so if we exclude, the companies like Lepin, where they're just stealing Lego ideas and making them cheaper and trying to make money off it that way. But like the Kobe, Oxford Bricks, those kind of ones.
Mega Constructs,
they're making Lego compatible toys and they're doing it to a fairly high quality. And yet some people still will refuse to go anywhere near them, including you. Why?
So I think the problem I have is that I like Lego and Lego provide a vast amount of product already. So I don't really have the time to look at those other ones. I don't think I'm saying that I wouldn't ever go for those. But actually part of me is like, I want it all to match. I'm kind of like quite particular about that. It's not that I think they're bad. I just don't think that they should go with other things. Okay. So if I was to start a Kobe city, that would be fine. But then that's just getting excessive.
Right, okay. Because I said, the motors that I use are not Lego motors. They're circuit cubes, and I think they're a better motor, but you can tell. So the pack comes with a couple of motors, a couple of battery packs, and some non-Lego bricks. Yeah. And those aren't as good as the Lego bricks.
Yeah.
They don't quite fit as nicely. There's something about them. Sometimes it's just...
It's the clutch, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's the thing about Lego bricks, is that they seem to consistently stick together the same way.
Yeah.
You always get that same sort of feel, the same sort of click.
Yeah.
Unless you have really old sets, because we found that with Market Street when we were rebuilding that some of the bits had lost its clutch.
Yeah.
And that was actually really disappointing.
So, and I think that's where this whole premium toy idea, I think, gets slightly murky. So with Lego, you get a brand new set. It's a good build experience. They have good instructions. There's occasionally very minor mistakes in them, but they're generally good instructions. They're thought through. The build makes sense. Mm-hmm. You're not suddenly darting about all over the place and trying to put stuff in what's clearly the wrong order.
Apart from the brick bank, which I will consistently say was badly instructionised.
Yeah.
If that's even a word.
Okay. But after that, things seem to go a bit downhill.
Yeah.
You've got bricks which discolour, so white discolours quite easily. I mean, we've seen that in a lot of sets. And you'll get told it's sun damage.
Yeah.
We've opened brand new sets and it's yellowed.
Which ones?
I can't remember. But I know that I've definitely opened new sets and the white, for some of the pieces, hasn't been a bright white like the other pieces in the set.
So it can't be sun damage if it's sealed.
Yeah.
So it's an age thing.
So it's just an age thing. But then you've got a couple...
I think it's definitely exacerbated by sun. Though.
Yes. Yeah.
We can definitely see the sets that we have left in the sun
are
worse.
Yeah. Although we never leave sets all that much in the sun.
Well, we used to before we had a Lego room. Like, our Winter Village was out all the time. And I know our dining room doesn't get that much sun, but it gets enough to...
No, it gets no direct sunlight where the Winter Village was. But so, I can't remember when it was. A couple of weekends back, I was up in the Lego room and Leah was up there and she spotted the Emerald Knight. Mm-hmm. That goes round a little loop under the city. It's been out there for a while, but for some reason this is the first time she noticed it and she asked if she could play with it. So I said yes. So the first thing she did was try to open one of the doors on the passenger carriage and it just fell off.
Fell off because the clips were broken.
Because the clips were broken. Now, this isn't something that we've played with lots. We won't have been sat there opening and closing those doors because we've only ever had it as a display piece. Well,
we built that and then it went away because we didn't have anywhere to put it. And it's been in a box, well looked after, like not moved or anything.
Yeah.
Ever since. So it is disappointing. And I'm guessing it was a brown piece, or was it dark green?
Could have been black, maybe.
So why is that broken? I would request a new piece via the broken pieces.
Yeah.
For sure. And that's the thing, is that how it becomes a premium product? Because they admit that sometimes things do go like that, but they will replace them happily for free.
I don't know, because obviously with the older sets, the rarer the part is, they'll sometimes say, no, we can't do that. It was a piece from the Ewok village that that makes the campfire, which is like a small piece with 4 clips coming off the side. And so we requested it, and they said, "Oh, we don't have that, so you can't have it."
Yeah, we don't make that anymore. And then we had it in another set.
And then in one of the botanical sets, it's in there, and it's like, that seems odd. So yeah, I kind of feel as though
you are
a premium toy you expect not to have to constantly fix. Each time we sort out the Winter Village, we have to work out which bits we need to order to fix all of the broken clips.
Yeah.
So I think that I would argue that means it's not a premium product.
So I guess the definition of premium is that you're paying more for it. So yes, it is, because we do pay more for our Lego.
No, that just makes it expensive.
Well, but you're paying a premium.
But you're meant to be getting something for that premium.
Yeah. And so you're saying we're being ripped off, is what you're saying.
Maybe.
I mean, Lego have said they had issues with certain plastics during certain periods, and it could be that the ones that we keep running into are over those periods, but it's hard for us to know.
It's such a wide
range. And also it's
that
hard for us to know if they fixed it, because all the recent sets aren't at that stage where we'd be looking at them to see if they're broken, kind of thing. Yeah.
But then there's also the packaging. So boxes turn up bashed on a regular basis.
But is that not because the box, in Lego's eyes, is just a box?
Possibly.
See, they don't do... Well, I mean, they do some to sort of avoid package damage, but they're not expecting people to keep these boxes forever and ever.
Because it's not a premium product?
What, you're saying the definition of a premium product is that you have to keep the packaging?
I mean, but there are clearly people out there who like to keep the packaging. There are people who buy it for investment who want it to be in pristine condition so they can charge more when they sell it.
Yeah.
So this whole idea, it's just a toy, it doesn't matter what it's in, goes against what a lot of the customers want.
So what could they do to fix that?
They could make sure that it's packaged better.
Well, apart from, like, apparently in Ireland where they just don't care at all, like, our deliveries seem fine. I've never really seen many issues with them.
There's definitely been ones where they've packaged it really badly, like mixing small sets and big sets in the same box to an extent where the small set will just get crushed by the big set.
I find that Amazon can be worse, and that you see a lot of cases in Amazon where they stick the stickers just on the box and mail them. I've definitely seen that a lot on the Lego forums that I'm on. It seems to be more in the US, I don't know. So that's a third party doing it, so it's not really their fault.
But then even once you open the box, they don't protect the pieces very well. So particularly trans clear pieces will be scratched because they're just in a bag with lots of other pieces.
Yeah. I mean, we found quite a few, like, just purple ones on that Ferris wheel we built this week. They're scratched. They're also getting very lax about making the instructions safe in the box.
Yeah.
So the number of times I find the instructions have been just crushed under the other Lego. And it's not like they can't do it, because for the Ecto 1, you had such a lovely pack with the instructions in, with cardboard in and everything, and it was so beautifully done. It was like one of those car manuals, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And I'm assuming, is that the same for all of those big cars? Is that what they do?
I don't know.
Or we don't have any to compare to, so I'm not sure. Let us know. But why don't they do that for other sets?
Yeah, I mean, sticking a piece of cardboard in to make sure that the instructions aren't screwed up, surely that's not a hard thing for them to do.
No, it really isn't. And I'm sure they used to do that. But yeah, we've had so many, and even to the point where, like the long axle pieces, they get bent as well inside. So Yeah, they protect some things but not others. And we did Pirates of Barracuda Bay, and that's where the axle piece was bent. And I think I went on straight away and requested the new piece, and that still has not arrived. So I've no idea where that's gone.
Yeah.
I don't know if my order's disappeared, because that's longer than I would expect. Because I try and order straight away so we can use the correct one in the build. I don't think I want to think about if they're a premium product, because I know I pay a lot for them.
Yeah.
And therefore not getting the quality. What was the line? So what was their motto?
Only the best is good enough.
And you said that you'd read somewhere that people were saying they've just dropped the first few bits and it's just good enough.
Yeah.
Is what's left. It does seem that way. Do you think that they've got worse, or do you think it's just that we see it more?
Well, so the old sets, like the really old sets, used to come and you'd have a box and it would have pieces in compartments.
Yeah, nicely sorted.
With really nice setup. Obviously,
sort of the lift up tops.
Yeah.
And the transparent bits so you could actually see what was inside. I loved those. I thought.
Yeah, I think those look so much better. Obviously, when the sets have so many pieces in, maybe that at that point becomes impractical. But you could still have it. These are the key pieces. They're the pieces that are kind of iconic to this set. If you saw that selection of pieces, you'd know exactly what set it is. They should be kept separate. They should be protected.
The pieces that you're not going to be able to replace easily. So, like the...
Yeah. So, like, any printed pieces... I mean, so that's another issue of printed pieces versus stickers. Should you be having to put stickers onto a premium toy?
I think that when you... So I'm not against stickers because it means that you do get a lot more detail than you would get if they were just going to print them, because the cost is prohibitive for them.
But you say that, but some of their competitors, who are cheaper, do a lot more printed pieces.
Well, let's just not build any more Lego then. Is that what we're saying?
I don't think that's what we're saying.
You always make me feel bad in these podcasts.
I'm sorry. I think it's an important thing to think about. What are you actually paying for? Is it that you're paying for the IP and therefore they go need to save money somewhere else to bring the costs down? But you would think with Lego being such a big company, they could get better IP deals than someone like Mega Constructs.
Yeah.
Although Mega Constructs is part of
Mattel.
Mattel.
So looking at the Mega Construct site, all of their products right now seem to be IP based. And if you're not interested in that IP, then you wouldn't go to it. That's the thing with Lego, is that they always have that City line and the Friends line that's their own IP.
Yeah.
That you can rely on, essentially.
Yeah. But
So
some of the... I can't remember who else does that.
I don't think that makes them premium, just so you know.
No. I think... So Oxford Bricks has its own City range, maybe. But Oxford Bricks are expensive. Which is mainly because they're in South Korea, and South Korea's an expensive place.
Never heard of Oxford Bricks.
Have you not? I mean, yeah, getting hold of them outside of Asia is also a challenge, I think.
Yeah, I don't consider the others because they're not Lego. I think it's just because I don't look at them because I'm snobbish. Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
so I am snobbish.
Yeah. There's also this weird thing...
Lego takes up all my time because there's so much of it. How do I have time for all these other building blocks?
But you've got this weird thing that people complain when these other companies produce sets that they feel are similar to Lego sets. So like they've not necessarily stolen the design, but they've stolen kind of the idea. So like whether Lego comes out with the Colosseum, then another company comes out with the Colosseum, and then that company will get, oh, you're just copying Lego and doing that. But that seems to be happening with the Titanic.
Yeah.
Other companies have the Titanic, and then Lego's coming out with its own Titanic.
Unless you're inside the company, you can never really know who's been creating the idea first, because you don't know how long something's in development.
Yeah.
You would assume that the other company would challenge it and there would be some proof and it would be fine. You wouldn't, like, us as consumers shouldn't really be trying to make that.
Yeah,
that
so
judgment.
Obviously the thing with something like the Titanic is there's not an IP to own to make that toy. So everyone can make it. And
So you're saying that they wouldn't go out and say, why are you making this when we've just made this? Because they've got no legs to stand on.
But a lot of the consumers do. A lot of the consumers say, no, you've released a Colosseum because Lego released a Colosseum, and you're hoping to get traffic from people searching for the Lego Colosseum and then buying yours by mistake. But if Lego can do it with the Titanic, then other companies can do it with the Colosseum.
But again, as a consumer, I can have that thought, but I can never prove that that's the case. And so you're just making yourself like annoyed about something that it's pointless being annoyed about. Right? And maybe they did do that. Maybe it sounds like good business sense.
Yeah,
not as ethical as it could be, but it's kind of what we all do. Is we try and find something that people are searching for.
Yes,
and make content on it. So I
think the kind of implication is that they've rushed out a set in order to cash in on the hype.
And do you think that's part of what's wrong with the toy at the moment, is that's making it less premium, is because they are working on too many things and too quickly, and they're not maintaining that quality?
Possibly. So we recently on a stream discussed the Lego doesn't do military.
Yeah.
And that's because they have a policy that doesn't do military, and we can talk about that more at some other point. But even if they didn't have a policy about it, I wouldn't like Lego doing military because they would have to cut back somewhere else.
Yeah, there's another thing.
They have so many themes, and they do so much Star Wars, which we aren't interested in.
Yeah.
So a huge amount of their sets we just don't look at.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then there are other themes as well which we're not particularly interested in. So the Speed Champions, we don't really look at. The architecture sets, we don't do because they're the wrong scale.
Although I think you like some of the architecture sets. I remember you talking about them before.
Yeah.
But, where would you put them? I think that's the thing. Just think of the people who do like every Lego theme. How hard that must be for them.
Yeah.
We're actually quite lucky that we don't like some of these things.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, we'd be like overwhelmed with Lego. And again, that's another reason why you don't go look elsewhere. And certainly, or in my head, Kobe is military or vehicles and things.
That is their major.
Yeah, and so that's why I don't look at them, because I'm not interested in having that in my Lego city. I kind of feel like, for me, my Lego city is an escapism, and it needs to be a place where everyone is happy and joyful. And why would I want to bring military into that? That I feel like those two don't go together. Oh, look, here come the military. That's made us really happy. It's not a thing, is it?
I don't know.
It's not.
Okay. I mean, so the Lego aesthetic is more toy-based than something like Kobe, which is more display pieces. So Kobe doesn't really have studs showing on most of their models.
And do they have play features?
So they have less play features, I would
How do you know this about Kobe? When do you look at these things?
Because other people review them on YouTube.
Right, okay. I don't have enough time for the Lego content. I don't know how you consume all this stuff.
Yeah.
Name another toy that's premium in your mind.
I don't know. So if you look at something like Games Workshop with Warhammer, you kind of there was a clear distinction. You had the plastic models and then the metal ones.
Right.
Where the metal ones were the more premium option to go for.
Would you still paint those?
Yeah.
You just need different paint, I guess.
No, you just use a different base coat, I think.
Right.
But so those are the ones which, you get better detail on because, it's not bendy plastic. So you can get much better points on it and things like that. So you've got that kind of standard and premium range within it. A lot of board games you can kind of see. Some are definitely...
Deluxe edition, they called it.
Yeah. I mean, we've got ones where you have metal counters rather than cardboard counters. And you can see some have very cheap card and some use very expensive cards. So there's definitely different levels within that.
So premium definitely comes down to the quality of something, and you expect to pay more for that quality.
Yeah.
So, like we say, we are getting the price of a premium product, but we're not entirely sure that we're getting the quality of a premium product.
I just think the longevity of it needs to improve.
And the care for the packaging and instructions.
Yeah.
The whole Lego experience that's the premium package, and every part of it counts, I think.
Yeah.
So you enjoy the instructions. That's part of the experience. So package them acceptably to keep them with the right quality.
Yeah.
So another podcast where I'm a little bit glum at the end that the thing that I love isn't as good as I hoped.
I'm sorry.
It's okay, just keep doing this to me. I will maybe at some point look into other brick brands, but like I say, right now the amount that Lego are churning out, which might be a direct issue with a direct correlation with the quality, keeps me busy. So I don't think it's going to be for now. And those themes just don't seem to float my boat. But yeah, we will continue to monitor the quality of Lego by continuing to purchase it. Yeah. And that's the thing, is that you're disappointed by it, but you're still going to buy it.
Yep.
The life of an AFOL. Right. Let us know what you thought. Have we made you glum as well? I'm sorry if we have. If you're on YouTube, comment below. If not, then catch us on Instagram. Let us know what you thought. Also, don't forget to subscribe wherever you're watching so that you don't miss the next podcast, which will be out next Thursday.
Yep.
And every Thursday until we run out of ideas. And yeah, have a good week, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.